Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Soul Conversation. It's been a while. I've been gone for 2 months or something because I needed to reassess and see how I really wanted the show to bring even more value. And what came up is that a lot of you have asked about relationship, about love, connection, and being in. Some of you desire to be in a conscious relationship, or that you're single and you truly want to find your person. So today I have invited Danniel, and she's been on the podcast before, and today she's also bringing her husband, Gvnage. Oh no, I have pronounced it wrong again. So this is also something I'm going to practice pronounce your name right. So I want you to introduce yourself. I'm so happy you're here. You're in Utah, it's evening. I'm in Sweden, it's early morning. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linju.
I'm Danniel Worthen Cullumber. I'm a psychic medium and also a trauma therapist. In the United States, I am a social worker, different in Europe, but I am a paranormal investigator, and this is my husband. I'll let him introduce himself.
So, Bunju and Makadok, Hanin, Gvnage Mishipeshu discuss. That is all in the Ojibwe. My name is Gvnage Mishipeshu. I'm a medicine man, life coach, peer support, and a psychic medium.
Ah, and Gvnage.
Gvnage.
I'm still getting, yeah. Okay, it's a beautiful name though.
Yes,
The whole of you. I mean, okay. I'm not going to pronounce your last name now, but let's start.
It takes a bit too.
It took me a while to pronounce it myself.
People get confused with the country, and so because it's so close. Mishipeshu.
Oh yeah.
Mishipeshu.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I want to start with what did each of you have to release inside of yourself before you were able to receive your kind of love, like the love you had? Because you have had some kind of a lifetime, both of you, before you met. Am I correct from your story?
Well, I had actually was in my getting my master's to be a trauma therapist back in 2019, and I lost 4 family members in 9 months. And I was having issues in my first marriage because I could not be my full self. I was hiding that I was a psychic medium, and I was living with a skeptic, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I wasn't being truthful to myself. And after my family members all passed away, all my gifts got really stronger and more intense, and I needed to go do some trauma healing myself. And I knew how to do the medical model, but it wasn't working. And I was like, I need to look at the holistic part. And so I joined a paranormal group, a support group, like sound bath, cacao ceremony and stuff. And actually on the first day arriving, I met him, and we didn't even know that was the beginning of a friendship that would develop into a beautiful, eventually marriage. And I had to release the time, my own biases, and hurt about my perception myself. And I had to learn to have a relationship with myself first, just so I can have an alignment with what needed to come in.
It's beautiful.
Mine is pretty similar to her story, except for my relationship was a little bit more difficult than most people expect. I did marry someone with a lot more difficult disabilities than myself suffer from. I do suffer from a learning disability, which I can read the page, but trying to read it back to you, I'm gonna jumble miss words, misspell them. It's just not going to go right. But I can sound them out in my head and it sounds perfectly. That's what my parents tell me. It's like, if it sounds perfect in your head, but you can't do it out loud, your English is terrible. I'm like, I know. It's all in Ojibwe in here. It's all just gibberish. But yeah, over time, I just kind of learned to enjoy the process of my own heritage, of how to learn to let go, have bravery, have love for myself, and just kind of learn to kind of put myself first. I know that sounds kind of a little selfish, but you got to put yourself first before you can actually help the other person. It's just like when you go on the airplane, they're going to tell you, hey, you got to help the person who is not helpful so you can help yourself. And so it's the same process when you go into relationships. If the other person's not really doing much of the work and you're doing all the work, it's kind of hard to have that full balance in the relationship.
And that was actually what most people are doing in most relationships, is they're trying to help the other person and they can't help themselves. And having to accept that I had to release and heal myself and understand that it wasn't about everybody else but me at that time helped. So.
And do you believe, because I truly believe as well that since we mirror everything, so a lot of stuff comes up, especially in an emotionally intimate relationship. Because when I was married, I wasn't aware, so all my triggers came up, but I didn't know back then how to express them. So it kind of, when it's building up on top of each other, I don't know how you say in English, but it's bottle up.
It's pretty,
it gets layered.
Yeah.
And then
you start sinking and drowning.
And after that, it just turns into a book, and it's full of emotions that nobody really cares to read.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah,
it is.
And so it's technically called trauma bonding. That's what we call it.
Yeah. But would you say, was there for each of you, I mean, of course, there's a lot of things we kind of being born into as well, like generational trauma and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
is there something specific for you, Gvnage, that you felt like, okay, this is codependent or whatever, like people pleasing?
Yeah, when I met my ex, it wasn't really going so well, because I tried to get her involved in church, and even though she really wasn't involved in church, even though we met at church, so there was a lot of mixed messages there of how the relationship was starting, but her relationship with her mother wasn't going so great, and having her disabilities and all that was very heartbreaking for me to see. And so I had to move her out. I'm like, okay, we're getting married. Whatever I have to do. I was in that mode where I need to save you, and there's nobody else there to save you. And so it just ended up becoming a toxic rescue instead of a more helpful and abundance. And so after a while being with her, I kind of just left the church. I left everything behind. I tore open all my scars and started looking at myself of who I really was, and if this is what I really want to do, and if Jesus or God, or if he really was there. I was questioning on it. And after a while, I started downgrading myself to a point where I was almost at my ex-wife's level of how she looked at herself. She didn't believe she was pretty, even though I believed she was pretty. She didn't believe that she was strong. She had all these negative thoughts, and eventually it just started pouring onto me, and it kind of really disturbed the relationship, and the relationship with my parents, and the relationship with my creator, and it just was very, very toxic. And I had to learn to overcome not so much my mental stability, but also learning to hold myself accountable for my actions.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And Danniel, how about you?
It's very interesting because my parents divorced when I was about 5, and I was the oldest of 4 children. And I have to say I was grateful that I had 2 different perspectives from my parents. My mother was always negative, talking about my father, and even more so after she married my stepfather. But my father, even up till the day he died, he said, "I love the woman I married, but not who she is today." And my father emulated healthy relationships. And even with his parents, he rolled that forward because he lost my grandfather when he was a teenager. And so he wanted to be a good father, a role model. He was my first feminist example that I didn't even know of. He empowered me. And he had a wonderful marriage to my stepmother for 28 years. And just knowing how to communicate. So when I finally divorced my first husband, it was actually mutual. It was like, let's divorce while I still like you instead of hate you, because we still have children. I still care about you. We're definitely different people, and it's kept things so much nicer. And being a therapist, I've also done couples counseling, so I literally watched how relationships impact the whole family. But I can still say that my mother never really could see the benefit of talking nice about somebody that she actually had children with and had a relationship with. And so I have to respect that she had generational trauma because of her parents and what she witnessed, and the neglect that she embodied. She was the middle child of 10 children. She watched my grandfather cheat on her mother, and still they stayed married within the constructs of their belief system and stuff. And bless my grandma, she was a survivor and a thriver considering all of this. So when we think about it generationally, we are the byproduct of that environment. And back then, that's what you did. And when you didn't have rights as a woman, you couldn't get a mortgage. You couldn't open a checking account. Sometimes just staying in a loveless marriage was the only choice, especially when survival was raising children too.
Yeah.
So I couldn't blame my mom for being bitter. I still don't blame her for it.
Which is beautiful, because a lot of people do. And that's why I love that you're bringing that up, because it helps nobody to blame. I mean, to understand that's something, and to wish that maybe there would have been some other circumstances. On the other hand, I truly believe we're meant to to go through everything like that we were born here to experience, but to grow. But to everyone listening, that it's so important to, I think, to try to have some kind of compassion where the parents have been, no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what. So you, if I remember correctly, I think you were marrying each other in 2022, like, so it's not, you didn't have a long, like, I don't know, 7 years relationship before you getting married. So what did your intuition tell you in those early days that your mind
For me,
it
back
froze.
then?
It froze for a second. Sorry. We missed the last part. It froze for a second.
Okay. Did you hear my question?
Yeah, repeat the question again,
please.
Yeah. So what did your intuition tell you in those early days when you met that your mind could not explain back then?
I will tell you, when I met Gvnage, I thought he was cute and handsome, but I was like, first of all, I'm still married. He's married, hands off. but I thought I was attracted to him. I'll be honest with you. I was intrigued by him because there was something about him. I kept going because I was new with my gifts more so. And kept going, he's like me, but different. But I couldn't figure it out. And it wasn't even a year and a half of knowing him unofficially. We were more acquaintances.
Yeah.
That it was by chance that I saw him have a decal on his car that said Ghost Hunter on it. And because I'm a paranormal investigator, I was so excited. I geeked out. I come running and you're the paranormal investigator. I was so excited. And I met his ex-wife at that time, and we actually became friends. So I knew her. But he can tell his own story. But when he was going through a divorce and I was also on the process of a divorce, we were just talking a lot. And at one point I just laughed so hard. I go, I couldn't help myself. You know, the Freudian slip when you say something, I started laughing. I go, will you marry me? And I go, wait a minute. That's not what I meant. It goes, too late.
Too late.
But we were still friends. We weren't even ever engaged. And we actually ended up going to Colorado to see a friend over Easter weekend. And it was Beltane at that time. And we're like, what do they do for Beltane? We wanted to do something different for Easter.
So and Googled it.
He Googled it.
The first thing came up, get married.
And I go, I guess that's what we're going to do.
I guess that's what we're doing. Then after that, we invited the kids for a little Easter egg hunt. Even though we didn't have eggs, we had like little rock eggs. So we kind of hid them around the house.
So my friend had kids, and so we ended up having my friend is a shaman, and she hand fasted us while we were in Colorado, but it was because of Easter. We couldn't legally be married, so we came back to Utah, and I was like, "Do you want to make this legal?" So we eloped kind of twice. And my divorce papers weren't even a month old, and neither was his when we got married. So we got married pretty quickly because it just was like, it just felt right.
It just flowed.
Yeah.
And
I was going to ask you.
Sometimes when you jump into relationships, it feels like it's flowing, but you're jumping in because you think that's what love really is. It's this it's compassion and it's sex and it's this label and that label, but no, in reality it's its own world. It's like working in a toy shop, and you have Santa, who's the big helper, then you have all these little elves, but even the elves have a higher elf. And so when you're working in the group scenario, and this is our group,
this is us,
you gotta ask, okay, is this something I'm doing, acting like the child, acting like the younger person who's not knowing so much, or am I being the leader? And we switch roles all the time, where I'm like, okay, I'm being more emotional. Okay, I'll admit it, I'm being emotional. And these are the problems that people don't really mention in relationships of their defaults. Like, okay, I really shouldn't have got mad at you with that, or I really shouldn't have got upset with you with that.
So why don't you give them your perspective when you first met me, how that felt for you?
So when I first met Danniel, I was emotional wreck, to be honest. I was in a very hard place where I just wanted to go and just run and be somewhere where I felt safe, instead of hiding in this little cocoon away from a person who is very emotional and physically abusive. And so I would run over to Danniel and I go, please save me. I was in that emotional state of please save me, because I don't know what to do. And apparently you know what to do, because you're
trained.
You're trained, and I don't know how to compensate for these emotions I was going through. And after a while, we started talking. I started getting a little bit better with my words and how to communicate with people. And after a while, it was like, no, I really, 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 really like you.
Yeah.
So
how did your body feel? Sorry, Danniel. How did your body?
It was, as I said, I was filled with so many different emotions, like sadness, anger, fear, guilt, regret, happiness, sadness. I was going through all these different emotions, but when it came down to with Danielle, it was more like you're on vacation, but yet you've lost the car keys, but yet you know where the car keys are at, but yet you still panic where the car keys are at. That's how it was.
Good,
I like you, but I'm panicking of where my relationship is at right now, and so I want to hold those boundaries and hold those the oath that I've took with that first marriage, and be honest with everybody around me. And so I was nervous. I have to be honest. I was just it was new. Everything was new because I grew up LDS, and we were taught should be doing this kind of stuff because it's you're playing the devil's game.
So one of the things, and I think that's where we were both in mutual respect of that, was we were like, we're friends. And then when it came down to it, when we even eloped and got married, we were like, if this doesn't work out, we're friends first. No matter what, we have to let's keep that. And the other rule we kept was, I may be a therapist, but I'm not his therapist.
And that's the joke.
That's the joke.
She's a therapist, but she's never my therapist.
Because that's crossing an ethical boundary, and then that puts that relationship in an equal setting, because I would be in more power and he'd be lesser, and we were trying to meet each other where we were at. And
that's something I'm personally learning, especially with people. And let's go into that spiritual energy of it for a moment. Let's say if you're born August 16th, 1985. Okay, you gotta look at that energy, and you gotta add all that energy up to see what the numerology, and you gotta look at your zodiac. Is your zodiac going to compare very well and nicely with the other person's zodiac? Same thing with the year. You gotta look at the energy. If the energies don't match, guess what? You're going to have a very high tense relationship. It's going to be a low depressing situations most of the time. Communication's going to be cut off half the time, because one person's going to feel, I need to have the floor more than you because I'm more important. And you just got to start balancing it out. Like, okay, you seem a little funny, but I like you, but I'm only willing to be friends just for a minute. Then I'll decide if I really want to do this. And after a while, you just kind of like, oh, I see what I messed up on here.
You get to see what you are doing. That's
and
triggering.
So it's more of a mirror thing. It's like, I married someone who is exactly the same age, just on a different mind capacity of how they saw the world. I'm like, okay, I can understand that part. But the other part was, I just didn't understand of why. And I was always curious of the why. Why are you doing this? Why are you acting this way? Why are you saying things like you're like done with, like, I'm just throwing my hands up, I'm just done with life? Because she would. I'll get frustrated and get confused, and you're going to get people like that. It's like, you're going to throw your hands up, like, I don't know what to do. And that's the time where you step back, take a break, take a breath. It's not the end of the world. No. It might be for that person, but for you need to find that composure. And I wish somebody was there to actually lead me and guide me and tell me, hey, just breathe. You'll be okay, darling. You're not going to die. No. And so it was just one step after the other.
Yeah.
And eventually we just found each other, and it's like, no, you work. The other one, I'm looking at these energies like it's a sign.
Yeah.
My kids said when I married him, he goes, like, you married yourself.
You married yourself.
I go, isn't that great?
Isn't that great?
But you have kind of the same energetic, like, energies.
Yeah,
you radiate the same. Yeah.
No, we really, really do.
We really do.
Yeah.
I'm a Scorpio and he's a Leo, and it works very nicely.
And
yes, you're a Scorpio, Daniel.
So yes, I'm going to be the one who's kind of like, out there showing myself. She's the more intellectual one, where she'll be sitting down with a book, trying to figure out the logical behind it, and I'm like, okay, let's get going, let's get moving, let's start talking, let's figure this out, let's do the puzzle together instead of
separately.
Just separately.
Yeah.
And that's how some relationships are. They're like, oh, I just want to do my puzzle just by myself. I just want to figure out this all by myself. And then you start realizing, like, is this the relationship I want, or is this the relationship I just thought I needed just to prove a point?
Yeah, that's really important, what you just said. Like,
and this is coming from a masculine who actually looks at the feminine too. So I just want to point that out, because there's that relationship. I have a more masculine energy than the feminine, and he has the more feminine than the masculine, which is kind of this interesting cohesion that we share together.
Yeah, true. I can
like,
feel
for
that
example,
well.
she's born on 11/11, so it's Memorial Day over here.
Oh my God, that's like my love. It's also born 11/11. And he's
so in numerology, people who are born on 11th, or their birthday adds up. Their birthday adds. You start with the month and you end with the year.
Yeah.
So that is the numerology. Mine actually equals up to an 11. So I'm very emotional, very high tense. I actually have been diagnosed with STPD.
Yep. It's a long name. We're not even gonna.
But I love it.
But yeah, I've been, people like, you're weird. I'm like, I have an open mind. Shut up.
But so your birthday was now, like in July?
Yeah, my birthday's actually coming up next week.
Yeah, his birthday's the 28th of July.
Yeah. So
wow.
I know, the big 34.
I roll my eyes at him.
I love that. No, but it's also, when I talk about to you about this, it's also interesting because I'm Pisces, but then in the sun, but then I am Scorpion rising and Leo in the moon, and now when. And I forgot that your birthday is 11/11.
So your Scorpio just shows you how you present yourself with people.
Yeah, and I didn't know this for the longest period of my life.
Your rising sign is going to show how you show people, or how people see you. Your sun sign is how you show yourself. Your moon sign is how you express yourself. Yeah,
and it's
a whole mathematical equation. We can talk.
Okay. we can do that. So, Danniel, since you're working with trauma and the paranormal, how has loving a medicine man changed the way you understand your own gifts?
One of the most amazing things is watching each of us trying to do our own healing and our own journeys, being sovereign, will also be able to not enmesh, but support each other simultaneously, parallel. And when we say give medicine, it's whatever we need. So when somebody has medicine, we're also giving the other person medicine. So it's almost like when one levels up, the other one's going to level up and try to at least match them as much as I can. But it's not even a forcing. It just naturally aligns itself. And I've seen his evolution and things, and he's taught me things that I would never have the opportunity to have access to unless I delved into it. But I don't have the time nor the energy to do it in this lifetime. I will be honest, because I'm doing all this other stuff. And what I found was because we're both psychic mediums, we get a glance of our own perspective of something we've tuned into, and then we put our information together and we kind of create a bigger picture to problem solve it. So the communication was one
key.
Yeah, we don't talk at each other. We talk with each other. We're even very respectful and sovereign when we're saying, I can't do this at the moment, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to. Let me take care of this first so I can be present for what we need to do. Like if he's channeling something, or I've even channeled things, but he's also looked out for me, because after I've done work or I've channeled stuff, my energy gets kind of wonky because I have to toggle both the matrix world and the paranormal, and sometimes my brain can't shut off. There's so much noise. It's like the ADHD but amplified. And so he knows my energy enough to know that I need that support, and I can look at him and go, thank you for knowing me so well that I can't see it because he can see it. And then there's the flip side. I can see when he needs it. It's not even a dysregulator. It's like that support with the energy. And I'm like going, I learned from him by how he's also learning how to hold himself and his continued healing and his conversations with his ancestors. I mean, he's indigenous. So I also am learning from a white female's perspective of how to honor and respect culturally. And because that decolonizing that narrative is so important. And I'm part of that narrative because of my race. And even if I didn't perpetuate it, but because I am part of, I am reinforcing that. So it's been this whole big thing where I can hold something in reverence, even if I don't understand it. And I know that if I need information, I can trust him to go, hey, can you check what I'm feeling with my gifts to see if I'm missing something?
Hold the torch for a second.
Yeah, hold the torch for a second. That's a good one.
I'm trying to work on something here.
Yeah, it is.
Hold the light. I can't see.
That's beautiful.
I need my glasses.
Yes, actually, I've actually tried leaving the house without my other glasses. He's actually put things in my bag because he knew that I would need it before I knew I needed it.
And then that's kind of part of my superpower with the STPD is I analyze everything. I'm a cat. You gotta imagine I'm a cat. I hear everything. I see everything. I notice the more finer details compared to what Danniel might see in what I'm doing. She'll notice the finer details. I'll notice some finer details, and we'll just collaborate and we'll go back and forth. I'm like, I noticed this about you today. Are you okay? I'm like, I would rather talk about it, but I'd rather not talk about it because right now we're trying to go to sleep and it's in the middle of the night, and I don't want to be in that mode of.
But I'll be honest though, this is also part how with the communication is, people fight. We don't fight.
We never fight.
We may not. We can disagree about something, but we respect.
We squeal each other like we're squirrels.
We do.
We squeal at each other like you did this, or you. Then we're like,
no, we didn't.
You already took your nuts over in your little corner. I didn't touch anything.
And then we stop and we go, okay. So who's dysregulating?
Who are we feeling right now? Is it something around? Is it my neighbors? Is it? I have to go outside and cleanse myself. I'm like, okay, bring in spirit, go ground myself.
Because we're empathic, so we can actually feel other people's stuff, and it will start kind of bleeding out, and then we go, whoa. We're like, is this really us? Or is it something that we're interpreting?
Or something that the kids brought in from work?
Or because I work with a lot of clients that
I'm feeling stuff from her, and I'm like, okay, now I need to analyze what this is.
Yeah.
So we don't fight. We talk about it, but we do ask sometimes for space, and space is still safety, and that the fact you can ask for that space is important. It goes back to that sovereignty. It's like, I need to work with myself. I need to rest, or I need a nap. I need to eat. I need to drink. I need to breathe. I need to go for a walk, go camping and get stranded up in the mountains.
And you gotta learn to just kind of bring in that humility, and it doesn't matter what it looks like. If you notice that your partner is upset in any way, it could mean they're just having a bad day, or someone just cut them off on the road, or they just saw an animal got hit in the middle of the road or something. Something just tragically happened, and now your firing pins in your head are going off, and so you're not sure what to do. And now you just gotta be more aware as the wife or husband or boyfriend or girlfriend. Okay, I see that you're under stress. Did you want to talk about it, or do you just kind of want to leave it be? And when they say leave it be, actually leave it be. Don't be poking the bear and say, I really want to know.
You're not
going to get the answers that you want to know. It's just going to come out fierce and anger, and how my dad explains it, throwing darts.
Yeah. And it's not your job
Why
to
do you?
fix
Sorry.
it.
Go ahead.
No, why do you believe that is very common, that a woman could still like go after and like, but I need to know, or still like kind of not chasing, but you know what I mean?
Because
Like,
there's the idea of being not humble with your partner, or being honest, or being truthful with your partner, because then there's that trust issue of, well, I think they're hiding something if they're not telling me the full truth. No, we have our own little world. Yeah. We're in our own little world half the time. We go to home, we go to school, we go to work. That's it. We don't do anything else besides 3 things every single day. And eventually you're going to come in contact with someone who is just going to be a little negative, a little disrespectful, a little hurtful, and we're going to take all that emotion on to us and like, oh, that must have been towards me. No, you took that too personal, and you started trusting in their vibration instead of coming back and checking in with yourself. I'm like, oh, is that true? Am I really stupid? Am I really not good looking? Am I this? No. That is, they're projecting.
Yeah, I was actually going to use it. That I was going to say it is about the projection, because sometimes we reflect in a mirror, but with the throwing the darts is we want a problem solved, but we outsource. Naturally, we try to solve it through somebody else because we don't know how to look at ourselves and how we do it. And when we're in a relationship, people forget that 10% of your happiness is that the 90% is ourselves. And when at the end of the day, it's ourselves that we don't have the relationship with. And when I work with people, I'm going, if I'm doing couples counseling, I'm going to go, let's talk about the relationship you have with yourself, because as you realign this, everything else shifts around you, because it's vibrationally adjusts. It's an ecosystem. And with my hormones, if they go off, he feels them. And then he will actually tell me, goes, you just totally, I'm like going, and then I'll pause like, oh, you know what? Thank you for pointing that out, because I'm so in my head. I'm not listening to my body. I'm not listening to what I need or want. And by the way, need and want are totally sometimes not really what they are.
No.
True. So when you were in those little pivots of a communication with your partner, if you are looking for validation because apology from that partner because of a certain incident, you are constantly chasing for that approval, and that's not what you want to do. You don't want to chase after approval. It's like how some people chase after candy or cars, or they're looking for that luxury and safety.
It's a dopamine high too.
It's a dopamine. Yeah.
But do you think it's about also the inner child, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is actually the biggest thing, because this is where, even though I'm gifted in psychic and everything, I can see that inner child. We, as humans, we need to know that why. And so that's where my studies come in. Is like, I can bring in the Eric's stage of life. It's kind of explain things, but that inner child of that relationship, we didn't feel safe. We didn't get we
didn't get their needs met. I have mommy issues. I have daddy issues.
And then they bring in a relationship to play out that role with them.
Then you start pointing, like, well, you start acting like my mother.
And then you're like, I'm not your mother.
I'm not your mother.
And then that's where the argument gets in, because then it goes on a tangent. And I'm going to call the feminine out on this. When we have a trauma response, we will record something that aligned to that emotion. Even if it doesn't relate. And then it's like these poor masculine, like, she's bringing up something like 5 years ago, but to us, it's recorded in our cell memory and our vibration, and we're still trying to play it out, trying to understand, and we're projecting in the situation. It may not even be the reason why you're having an argument or a miscommunication. And and with us being psychic in medium, even though we can sometimes hear each other's thoughts, even or not, or we think we do, depending on the situation, we are still our own person. And we create these narratives in our head. And then it's kind of like the scenario of somebody. Now, we have not done this where we've had, you can watch TikToks and there's scenarios where the woman wakes up and goes, so who's she? And you go, what are you talking about? You have a dream about somebody cheating or with an ex-boyfriend or something?
My ex had that a lot. I would wake up in the middle of the night and she'd be hitting me and just punch me. Who was that other girl in my dream? I'm like, who are you talking about?
So we project, so we play out these roles and stuff. But just because we have these gifts, we're still human, and we still have to navigate that system.
And we have to honor our own sovereignty while we're at it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think from my perspective, with my reaction wound, being born in India, and then I was going to say shipped here, but since the adoption was trafficked as well, everything's been stored. So my pattern has been to react before I'm being reacted. Right. So I have had like the pattern, to close doors and run, like basically.
Yeah, we look at that as attachment styles, and there's avoidant and anxious avoidant and stuff like that. And there's certain patterns, and even though we all have there's other patterns, but you can actually, if you understand that. And
ambivalent. Do you say ambi? How do you pronounce it? Ambivalent.
Imbalance. Yeah. There's an imbalance, and so if you can understand your partner's attachment style as well, you can actually support them to help kind of feel more secure and do these things. So while doing that, you're also not doing it for them. So here's the thing: is that's where the
savory knight of shining armor comes in.
Yeah. So knowing that there's an ecosystem that's in play. So we have people that have talking about relationships. We have this twin flames. Everyone's always like really excited about a twin flame. I'm excited for people to have a twin flame, but they also have a certain pattern. There's always a chaser and a runner, and there's always that
relationship. So it's not. It's pretty intense. Let's put it.
Yeah, it comes hot, and then it hurts, and then there's you're my soul companion, and you can have a soul contract with. And he has soul contracts with people too, but soulmate, you can have soulmate with an animal. Soulmate is someone that's in your group that you vibrate. It's that yumminess. But we all have behaviors that are similar to something else. Kind of like I'm going to bring in people who talk about someone's narcissist, and I always have to go, well, now they may not actually be a narcissist. Do they care? Yes. Well, that kind of rumbles everything else. You can have narcissistic behaviors and not be a narcissist.
Yeah.
Okay. And
don't you think everyone has it a little bit?
To some degree, yes.
I have it too.
Yeah,
me too.
and then we always hear this story about killing the ego. And I was like, ego's there to give us a safety baseline. Yeah. It's kind of our
we can't have an ego without an ecosystem.
Right. And that's I like that metaphor. Yeah. I talk in metaphors, my brain like really appreciated that one. So when we say I want to take this out, let's cut this cord, we have to always remember that when that's still that relationship with ourselves, what we're adjusting, be careful what you are asking, because you may actually be re-traumatizing yourself. Because cutting a cord you can do, but you also can release a cord and can disintegrate on its own by the shifting the heart, the mind, the perspective. You can forget. We got to learn to forgive ourselves, because we'll have people come up to us, goes, can you forgive me? They're just trying to learn how to forgive themselves through that person. Yeah. Nobody can make you forgive anything. And you can forgive someone that's no longer here. That's including who you were in your past. So even though a relationship did not work out, that person may have been the mirror to help give you reflection to who you will be coming to. Look at that. They may have been your twin flame. Maybe they may have been your soulmate, but then you lost them for some reason. And a soulmate can come in just with a hello and that vibration shifted something. So also realize that you are doing the same thing for somebody else. So every time you look in the mirror, you're vibrating back yourself. So say nice words, give those affirmations. I'll be honest. One of the things I'm so grateful for was when Ngange would look at me, I got to see how he saw me through his eyes that I never saw. I could not see that perspective until he gave me permission to see it through how he perceived it. And I started to love myself in a way that I never thought I could, not because he loved me, but because he saw who I was, because I didn't know. He became my reflection. And I'm grateful for that. It's like a reflection in the water. It may be distorted, but you can see enough of it reflecting back that you have an idea what it is.
Beautiful. I have a question for you, Gvnage. How do your two healing paths, I mean Danniel's and yours, trauma therapy and indigenous medicine meet? I think we touched on it in your relationship.
I kind of explained it a little
from
bit.
Your perspective.
My perspective is you got to obey the laws of the universe. You gotta obey love. You gotta obey honesty. You gotta obey truth. But truth comes in so many different forms. But you gotta look at how the turtle walks. He's not going to be out there trying to win the race from the rabbit. The rabbit already won the race. I mean, he's going to be there taking his time, trying to finish what he needs to finish before he starts moving on to the other thing. And that's where we get so caught up in relationships. Well, I need to fix this. I need to fix this now. No, you need to breathe, take some time, figure out what the math equation is of what's causing this. Then you start working on, okay, now I need to start having love and humility over myself. Of I got angry with myself. That's where it started. I got angry with myself. Sorry, Creator. Sorry, Jesus. I got angry with myself. I will not do it again. I repent for myself. And you start learning to forgive, and you start learning to overcome these problems, and you start having bravery, and you start being having some wisdom, and you learn to trust your own environment. And that's what a lot of people struggle with, is they jump into these environments thinking Jesus got the wheel. Jesus isn't a book. I'm sorry. Here's Jesus. He's not. He doesn't have your wheel.
Kind of outsourcing.
He has the answers of how to drive this vehicle in this book, but he's not going to drive the car for you. I'm sorry.
It goes back to autonomy, I think.
It does go back to autonomy. And so how do I apply this into my relationship is I have to be honest. I have to be truthful.
Yeah.
I have to have some humility. I can't keep saying something about I'm going to do something to not do it. It's like with any other couple. Honey, you going to take out the trash today? Yeah, honey, I'll take out the trash. 2 minutes later, honey, the trash is still not taken out. You said you're going to do it. And it's just pounding and pounding and pounding. And us men are like, yeah, I told you I will do it. I promise you I'll do it. But then there's the expectation that people bring in of, I want you to love me this way. I want you to have humility over me this way. I want you to be brave for me that way. I want you to be trustworthy towards me this way. I want you to, and it just goes this big, huge loop. I'm like, it doesn't work that way, princess. I'm not sure what Disney movie that you came up with this idea, but not this whole life is a fairy tale. I mean, you can dream of it being, but in reality, you gotta have those boundaries, not so much with yourself, but also with your partner, even when they're geeking out and stressing out over little things. I'm like, okay, hold on. I need space from this. I need to figure out what this is, and so I can actually help you and understand. But then you get the women like, don't go away. I want you to help me. I'm like, but you're stressing me out and I need that space.
Mm.
And they're like, well, I don't know what to do. And then both of you are just stuck. And you're like,
Yeah.
you both got caught in that fish net, and now you don't know what to do, except for you know to swim upstream. That's the best way to option. But one person's swimming downstream, you got another person swimming upstream, and then you get in this weird entanglement of emotions and fear and guilt and all the negative attributes of what life isn't, what love isn't. Love isn't going to be based on how great the sex is.
Yeah. And that's
a lot of people, that's what they base their. My father told me one day, Gvnage, sex is this much of love. I'm like, it's a pinch of salt of love. I'm like, actually, that's actually a good way to put it, Daddy. It's a pinch of love. That's how much intimacy is. It doesn't show the actual bravery over somebody, or the humility or the wisdom, showing that, yeah, you're really smart. I really enjoy how you think, instead of, no, I think you have a really sexy hot body. Yeah, it's American.
It's American culture.
It's American culture. I'm like, where are you guys coming up with this idea? It's Hollywood.
Yeah.
Hollywood is coming up with these ideas, saying this is how men should be acting. This is how women should be acting. But Melly, we don't act like that. Yeah. It's like when people watch porn. It's like, this is how sex is. No, it's not. Yeah. It's very intimate. No. It's very loving. It's very soft. It's just very comforting. It's like you're taking care of your cat or your dog. You don't squeeze it to death. It's a living thing. Yeah. Same with everything else. The trees behind you, it's a living thing. We take care of the trees. We nurture them. We trim them. We make sure they grow right. And the same thing in our relationships. If your root system is not very stable, neither is the rest of the relationship. Yeah. So you gotta have your root system right before you can actually move on to the next problem. Make sure you're planted correctly.
And I also, what you were talking about as well, I feel like a lot of women truly want a man to be in his and I'm talking about like from a healed place now, masculine energy most of the time, but can poke and poke and poke if they haven't, like, I just remember how I was, like, in all over the place, emotionally dysregulated, attachment, like everything at once.
Right.
But I truly wanted just the stability, and the first time I spoke with Christian, it felt like coming home, and my nervous system was just calm, but my, everything also came up to the surface. It was like, woo, this is a lot. But like underneath, I just felt, wow, something with his voice. Just was calm, if that makes sense.
And that's the nice thing is, I loved how you mentioned that mansplaining, and when women get shut down by it.
Yeah.
And that's when we learn to talk with each other versus I. And just like us, we actually can sometimes need to pause ourselves, like, okay, the cart's running away from us, and we got to slow down a little because I need to catch up, or we got to goes back to catching our breath. But sometimes it's just listening.
Then you got those people like, but honey, I don't know where the brake is. I'm like, well, then they both panic. Like, then just stop. I don't know how to stop. So I'm just going to go with it. And if you are just going to jump on with me, and just jump on with me, and we'll take this wagon together. If not, I'm just going to be very, very upset today, and you got to be okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that when you can say that and know and have that, knowing what that safety feels like when you hear that, instead of having a trauma response. No, we naturally do that trauma response because something happened to us where it's like we got judged, we were told to do something, we get this narrative. But when you can trust that the behavior of your partner keeps repeatedly showing up in safety, you can trust it until it.
Yeah.
And that's where you also need to work with trusting yourself, going, okay, if I can't trust that, what am I not trusting about myself? Because in the end, you got to make that choice if you can't stand still, because we do go into that fight, flight, or freeze, that fawning. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that is survival, and that's nothing to shame about. And knowing that you can have intimacy and safety is so important, because a lot of
relationships, you just
don't know what that is. Especially the feminine, because they have been hurt.
And it's mostly been from parents, actually.
It is.
Because the mom is either 100% there, which I've dealt with a relationship like that, or you have a dad who's 100% there. And so there's that imbalance of having that feminine and masculine energy being supported in that family dynamic, where I've seen, for example, my own father has never really had a father. He grew up with his grandparents. It's a very indigenous culture background, but he still wished he had both his parents actually around. They were working most of the time, and my grandfather was an alcoholic, and so he was there and he was not there, and it was very hard on my father, and it still is, to see this day of he really didn't have a dad growing up of what is right or what's wrong, and so he was very dependent on a religious background to help restore that foundation.
Yeah. Plus, he's coming from, and he was being raised from a colonized trauma, because the indigenous were being taken from their families and going to boarding schools and being traumatized to learn how to assimilate.
And both my grandparents were indigenous, and so
you had that cycle of not having those
big huge cycle.
I actually didn't know that's what you were sharing now.
Wow. So both my father's parents are indigenous, but my grandmother is the only one that had a family member that actually went through the whole school system with the Indian schools. It was even harder on her after my grandfather died, because he was the support system. Even though he really wasn't a big, huge support system, she still felt it.
And then we bring that trauma history forward into our current relationships. And then, unfortunately, our own children are learning this from us, because they're learning from us, because we learn from those environments. And those examples, and that's why we say having compassion for where our parents have been, and helping our kids understand how to have this communication. And so we're always trying to self-check, like, I'm not going to do that because my parent did this. And then all of a sudden your kid having another thing, and like, what did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong. You're overcompensating something that you thought there was a deficit in.
There's that saying that a lot of people say of, I'm never going to be like my mother. I'm never going to be like my dad. BS.
You're going to be exactly like them.
Exactly like him.
Just a different variation.
You're going to be a mini me. It's just a different format of how you saw the world, and instead of going through those types of troubles and tribulations compared to what your parents went through. And it's kind of hard that they kind of put that kind of crap on you. Growing up, it's like, well, I was like this, and my parents never let me do this. Like, well, welcome to the 21st century.
22nd century.
22nd century now. It's like we're growing, we're learning, we're overcoming our problems, we're overcoming our addictions of what the basic training, I'm going to call it basic training, of what a relationship is supposed to look like. But in an indigenous perspective, we have our parts. The women in every single indigenous community is going to be the
Nurture.
not really nurture. They're
Some of
going
them. Okay.
to.
I'm being corrected.
I know you're being
I'm being
corrected.
self-checked right now.
What do they call it? The patriarch. There we go. The women
Yeah.
were mostly the patriarch in the home. They took care of the kids. They taught them. They helped grow the garden. Men were out here picking berries and hunting deer.
You were the matriarch.
We're the matriarch. We're the person.
So it's kind of flipped.
It's flipped.
Yeah.
And so when you kind of learn about that, okay, I can lead sometimes. She can lead sometimes. I don't always have to have the reins. I don't have to always drive. She knows how to drive.
Trust me, I've done both roles.
We've done both roles, and sometimes you just have to learn to balance that out. I'm like, okay, honey, I'm too tired. The storm's coming. I can't do it. Just take the wheel. Okay.
Yeah. But also, I would say, as women, to also allow the man to lead without being in control.
Yeah.
So that's also something that, yeah, it's common to not
Very
trust,
common.
I would say, to not have the self-trust. Yeah. So let's move on. Okay. So this question is for both of you, but what does it mean for you to choose each other like daily beyond the initial
Repeat that
spark
again.
you had?
I didn't quite hear you.
So, yeah, like what does it mean for you to choose each other every day? Like, how does it look
Choose
like?
each other.
Oh, choose.
Choose.
I'm here. Shoe, like a school. Okay,
No,
choose. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's
More
conscious.
practical. I was going to.
Yeah, I wake up and I still go, I can't believe you're next to me. He doesn't know this. I wake up and I'm like, I have to touch him to make sure that it's not a mirage, because I do, because I love him that much, and I can't believe that I've been gifted this time and this timeline, this journey with him. And it's not about choosing him, it's that he is inviting me to be with him in energy and along this thing. It's like this undeniable respect that
It's a stewardship.
Yeah, and I can't speak for him, but that's how I feel. I'm going, I cannot still say that I don't know how my life would have been without him, but I sure know what my life is now and still potentially could be, because I've done things with the short time we've been married for the last almost 5 years. We've done more, and I've lived more brightly than I've had in all the years I've been alive. I've had great moments in my life, but I've been able to breathe. I've been able to travel. I've been able to shine. I've learned to love in ways that I could never have anticipated. And I've also hurt in ways that I wouldn't have ever wanted to, but also felt that safety to have that pain and that sorrow.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But yeah, as I said, choosing is like stewardship. You once you kind of learn to take care of that person and you get to know their habits and their good habits and their bad habits, you kind of you kind of get into this small rhythm of beating the drum with them and learning to make that music and to make that dance and create that choreography of how this is going to go. And if it doesn't go well and someone missteps or slips, you're always going to be there to catch them. And it goes either way. Now, a lot of people think that a relationship is 50-50. No. Sometimes it's 80-20. Sometimes it's 10-90. You got to learn to carry the other person's weight. And that's kind of part of being a steward, not so much in a relationship, but kind of for the world. You got to learn to take care of your community in a certain way of holding the masculine energy of this is how a man should be acting between a relationship, not being aggressive, not being harsh. I know that is the stereotypical of the father role, and a lot of men want to step into that father role pretty early before they even become a dad. And it's like, no, you don't have to do that. But yet we come into these relationships like, no, I'm the husband, I'm in charge. Yeah, da, 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 da. Like, no, you don't. You're the partner. You're a companion. You're the guy with the strong arms. You're the person who can carry the physical heavy weight. I can't do that. You got to compensate for me. And it's a lot about compensating. She'll compensate for stuff for what I do, and I'll compensate for stuff that she does.
And also compromise.
And we'll very much compromise. It's a whole game of compromising.
So it's funny because that the word choosing is kind of really good question, because it's like it's not even. I don't want to say it's not a choice, because every day is a choice. Everything's a thing.
Yeah.
But it's not choosing each other. We're choosing ourselves first.
This is beautiful.
Choosing ourselves first, because that holds ourselves accountable. Because then we meet each other where we're in our fullness. And then we're vibrating in that unity that keeps us going forward, vibrating higher, aligning higher, and tuning to what's the next journey, or helping or healing for ourselves or with other people. And that creates its own community. See, you can be a community of one, and it doesn't have to be lonely, but it's sure nice when you get to share it with somebody else. And that's the choices. I get to share something with somebody, and that's how I look at it, right? Just in that question right now, in real time, thinking about it. I can't speak for him.
I mean, this isn't Pokemon where I choose you, Pikachu. It's more on the idea of you are the person I chose to walk and talk and learn from. Because a lot of people, we jump in relationships and we're expecting all this love, all this compassion just to come in once. But in reality, it comes in flavors. And sometimes it's chocolate flavor one day, and next it's a vanilla, and next thing it's bubblegum. It just it's not going to be the same thing over and over and over again. Like every morning I get up and I make her breakfast. Now, there might be some days where I'm like, honey, I just leave me alone. I can't even make you breakfast today. Just we have some frozen stuff in the freezer. Just kind of thaw something out and just kind of throw it in there.
And that role refers to, it's like, I didn't ask him to ever do that for me. He enjoys.
I chose it,
and he enjoys cooking.
I enjoy it.
And then I had to learn to be receptive and receive it, because and that was the other thing, is going,
because you can take care of yourself.
I can't take care of myself. And it's really funny when I was like, darn, now I have to switch roles back into my own stuff. But then we realized, like, when somebody's stuck, like you're taking on that role or that's extra support. And then it's really funny when the partner goes, I didn't know you could do that. I've been able to do that for the whole time. I just didn't have an opportunity to be myself and show you I could do this. It's that permission slip of knowing that you can be you when you need to step into that position or that mantle or that title, or shift into that role. But when it comes down to it, I always have to go, let's go back to basics. You're my friend. You're my best friend.
My best friend.
You're my best friend. And as a Scorpio, that's a huge thing, because Scorpios will keep their friends close. And if you're my best friend, you know that we will protect you all the way. It's like this unwritten code of ethics we have. I know your son's like showing in the back there.
Yeah, it is.
and he's a Leo and he shines. And so I know that if I need to shine, he's going to be the sunlight behind me, holding me up. But when I need to, he shines, and I'm going to be that support under him.
I will be able to cast that spotlight on you to a point where you feel comfortable in your own star, your own sun, instead of being so dependent on me to comfort you and say, hey, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you got a great voice, you got a great talent. Instead of you come along, I do have a great talent, I do have a great voice, I do know how to do this, I have to remind her, like, is this really about this, or is it more on your level? She's like, no,
Yeah.
it really, I am really making this instead of putting it back on my level of, yeah, I'm great, I'm wonderful, I'm beautiful, I'm creative. And you start telling yourself these mantras of
Yeah.
all these positive things. And because we constantly put all these negative thoughts, we constantly have to replace them with 5 more positive
Yeah.
thoughts to get rid of that negative thought.
Yeah. So when it comes down to it, it's the
It's a
choice.
choice.
It's a choice, and it's a choice of
Yeah.
communication. But choosing yourself first is not about selfish. Like, you're not in a partnership. If you choose yourself first, you know that you are actually doing your relationship a better service, because you are holding your sovereignty and your healing and your sadness, or your love or your happiness and joy to the brightest degree you can hold it to. And when you're not able to, you know you're safe enough to go, hey, I need that support, without feeling the shame of saying, I need support.
It's like when people, I'm going to bring it back to Christians again, when they feel like that low point and they really need Jesus, and they'll use him as, I need your light, I need your support, and they'll go to any part of his teachings to get that love and support, instead of, well, I'm just going to be so dependent on him to fix everything for me. Like right now, like I need cake, just give it to me. No, it's just like, honey, just give it to me. And no, it's like, we don't have it. I'm like, I don't have the $20 for you so you can go get gas to put in the car. I just don't have it. I mean, it's not there.
And
And
then you
if
don't really
if
fight.
it's, and you don't fight over it, I'm like, okay, you just accept it. Okay, she doesn't have the energy today. That means I need to pull a little bit more weight on my end to compensate for her, not because I have to. It's because I choose to, out of my own sovereignty and my own love and my own humility and being brave over it. Of, you know what? A lot of people say, well, she's pushing you around. No, this is a partnership. This is a sovereignty. I'm being schooled. This is how we learn how to control our own world, our own humility, by learning about from different people, instead of being, I know a lot of people are in relationships for 20, 30, 40 years, and they caught in this loop of what next?
They're just waiting for the time to run out.
And like, no, you guys can do stuff.
Yeah.
You can go places. You can talk about things. And with certain people who have that trauma, I can't even talk about anything except for the weather. Well,
that's where it's at.
Talk about the weather.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So I think we already covered this, because I had one question, which was how you hold space for each other's shadows and not just the light, but you already beautifully, like, express that. I want to go into sensuality. Yeah, sorry.
You did ask an interesting question, though. How do we hold each other's shadows? We talk about support, but there's times when we actually do hold that shadow piece for each other, where we actually represent that projection for the person to work through, because we know about that medicine, and we become that individual space of that projection. So, and we're like, well, I'm going to be the mother. Okay, so what is it? What is that? And we'll break it down, and then and start working through that narrative, that younger inner child. And then when we come out of it, go, okay, check yourself. Are you good? We're like, yeah, okay. So is there any residuals that is still in the projection on me because I'm not that? Because no. And it's the same thing with him. It's like going, I'm like, thank you. I got stuck in that loop, and it's like, because we will hold that space for each other, because we know that we're able to do that for each other. But if we can't, like the bandwidth, the energy, We're like, okay, I know you're working through something, so I'm going to step out, so I'm not interfering with what you're working through ancestrally or the deep soul
technical thoughts
and everything. And then when you're ready to, if you need that support, ask, and I will step back into it as you need me to. And that's beautiful. So I think that was important for some people.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But also, like you say, that to give each other both the space, but kind of like if I see you together, it's like holding the space, but also being part of the integration without being part of it. like not interfering, but being part of it.
That's kind of part of our gifts is we have the ability to be on the outskirts looking in.
Yeah. It's kind of so observe.
We can observe and not judge and like, well, I see this can be a problem. I can see that can be a problem. But I also see the other side of it could be the whole solution.
Yeah. That's beautiful. So how would you describe, I don't know, describe is the wrong word, but when it comes to sensuality, what does it mean for both of you? And sensuality and sexuality, let's go, I'm reframing the question here now because it's two different
Scorpio,
things.
So
yeah.
Just between those two, the sexuality and being
sensuality
and being sensitive it really is on a different time scale. I mean, as I said before, sex is like a very small pinch of sand of what love really is. I mean, you can have love for the creator, you can have love for the trees, you can have love for your cat, but it's not going to be the same love you have with a partner. It's like, I love you, I care for you, I don't want anything to happen. But it's like with the child, I'm like, I want to make sure that you're okay, that you're not going to fall down the stairs when you make your first steps. I'm going to watch you. And no, it's more on the lines of, I will watch you and make sure that you are making the right steps and make sure that we are financially stable and make sure that we are on the right path of what our goals are, even if they are separate. I want to make sure that we are going fulfill these goals, fulfill these obligations that we said we're going to do, and we trust each other on that. It's like, yes, we're going to. It might take me an hour or two to actually do it. I will do it.
Yeah. And the sexuality and the sensuality, it's also in knowing that they're going to show up, because I mean, just sitting next to him right now, this is sensual because we're next to each other. Danny and us, we're in different rooms, but we text. He's always coming in between breaks of sessions.
I'm always asking, what do you think about this, or I want to show you this. Well, what do you think about this thought? And I'll double check, like, are you hungry? Do you need anything else? I'll just kind of quickly jump in the middle of her session. Sometimes, like, do you need anything?
Yeah, when it's not interrupting him, but something. It's those little things. Even
and the clients think it's so cute.
People, they're
like, Gvnage, hi.
Yeah.
I'm like, hi.
Because they'll usually know if he's coming in. There's sometimes I'm like, don't come in, or it's locked. But there's that respect, because the sensuality thing is that I can look in his eye and I just like go. I know. I know.
Keep you a little bit longer. I'm like a stray little puppy. Can I keep you a little bit longer? Can you stay?
It's that playfulness. It's that play.
Yeah.
I understand that you can. It's that play, and the physicality comes naturally in its own in its own time. Nothing can be forced as anything else. I mean, and stress can really damper naturally those vibrations. So you got to find that play, and the enjoyment. We will be sitting on either ends of the couch, and he'll start popping my toes just because he knows it will make me feel better to help release some energy. And I love that, because he's also touching me and acknowledging me without going, come here, I own you, or anything. No, it's those little gestures. We hold hands all the time because public display of affection, I used to cringe at, but with him, it's like, I actually want to do it. You know, there's this love, like it's our little universe, and we can have it and not be ashamed or judged about it.
I think that's why a lot of people are questioning, like, how do I stay in the honeymoon phase without leaving the honeymoon phase? Well, you got to start working on what the honeymoon phase
was for
and what it looked like, and keeping that tradition and keeping those little moments alive. Because for me, it's every moment counts. It doesn't matter if it's good, it doesn't matter if it's bad. It's a moment, and that moment it could take you off left field, or it can take you home. And it just depends on where you kind of want to set your grounds, set your goals, and set your I don't want to call them judgments, but it's this idea of expectations of, this is kind of where I want to go with the relationship, or this is kind of want to go with work relationship, or family relationship. It's not so much how do I get along with this woman, it's how do I get along with this woman plus my mother
or somebody else,
It's like, how do I balance that out? And the answer to that is more on the lines of learning to just accept for who they are. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't want you to be that way. Well, sorry. This is how my mother raised me. This is how my dad raised me, and this is my belief systems behind it. If you don't like it, there's the door.
And the other sensuality thing too is that even though he's the medicine man, and we have different backgrounds, we grew up similarly but different, and culturally, the mutual respect that we can come from different lenses, and respect, and not shame and doubt that perspective. But we can ask questions to understand and absorb it more. It doesn't mean you have to agree or do it. It's that vibration of going, I can say this and know that my truth and my chakra, my vocal cord will not be shaken because it's safe by somebody that's listening to it or holding space for me. That is what we crave, because energetically it is our vibration that we're holding each other in, is our vibration.
And that's kind of what people need, is they kind of want that brother or sisterly love that you get from a sibling. Like, they're there, they listen, and they're help and support, and whatever things they want to do to help grow your relationship between the both of you. That's kind of how you have to look at it. It's like, this is almost like a brother and sister bonding times. Like, I can make fun of you, you can make fun of me. We're not going to be hurting over small
without
feelings.
That judgment from people like going, your brother. It's like, no, we have that vibration of that relationship need, and that's where people get lost. And it's like, because it's the intent of the labeling that people get locked in. So it's like, that's when we say, I became the mother role, or he became the parental role, or whatever. It's like, we only use these labels as a reference, but it's actually, we're pulling in a vibration that we're meet a need, or hold a space in. And the truth is, there was one time somebody thought he was my son, and I was like, oh, shame. But like, why am I ashamed? That was their perspective. And then there's times when people come and goes, you guys are at the same age. I'm like, no, there's an age difference. We really are vibrationally in unity, because we we love each other, we respect each other. And as I said, when it came down to it, we built our relationship on friendship first.
Yeah.
And he's my best friend.
Mm.
And he can also be my worst best friend too. You know, there's those two. And
Yeah.
we can get mischief and we have fun and we can tease each other. People are like, why are you saying that? I'm like, we're laughing. We're making inside jokes that only us can get. Nobody else can understand on the outside. That's okay because it's us.
It's us.
Yeah. But do you believe, both of you, like, what's your thoughts if people would choose to pay more attention to playfulness and not take each other, like yourself, so seriously, and to allow the sensuality in the daily life, that the sex as well and the sacredness of sex will be much more connected?
Yeah.
And what's your thoughts?
Think plays a long, I love this. It's the long foreplay that we never knew we wanted and needed.
Exactly. Yeah. Life could be that as well, like a long foreplay.
I mean, we're always flirting with it. We're always teasing each other. We're always having fun.
It's like how cats play. It's just we're going to tease each other and we're going to annoy each other.
Yeah.
And then we're going to sleep right next to each other and tell how much we love each other. And then next minute it's like, I need my space.
Yeah, like you're snoring. I'm going to the other room for a minute until you quiet down. Like, no, it's a lot, and there's no judgment. And it's so that's our love. And I mean, we own a business, and we have to know that play is the most expensive and cheapest thing all at the same time, and it's dependent on how you utilize it. I mean, he made this dream catcher. He spent a couple days at it.
Yeah,
that was him in play.
Beautiful.
And my play was watching him build it and go, ooh, how is that going to turn out? Because he was doing his magic, and I could see him being himself and in his element. Yeah. That was play, and I didn't get to touch any of it. I got to observe it, and then now I get to enjoy it because I can see it in the camera or when I walk into a room.
Yeah,
that's play.
I was looking at this one. I have a horse behind me, and it's constantly making the noises. So you don't hear it, but yeah, it's up here.
No, I don't hear it.
Oh, it wants to be part of a conversation, maybe.
Well, he is an animal psychic, so animals respond to him. Yeah. So if they hear vibration, they respond.
They respond.
He's talking. It's a he. He's talking all the time up here. I have a. Let me just. I'm just going to look at my question because I think we are going to wrap it up, but it's one I really want to. I have two actually, and one is about money, so I want to go in there, and then I have a final question. But when you met, did you talk about like money, finances, your perspective of it, or not at all? Because I think a lot of people are not, and then they bring up a lot of,
as we said before, we hold our own sovereignty to our own space. If I wanted to go out and get a 9-to-5 job, I would go out and get a 9-to-5 job, and that would be helping and supporting my part on either helping paying the house bills or just going out and buying extra food for the kids or something. It was my part. I gave tribute to this community, and Danny does the same thing. It wasn't so much, oh, do you have money? Do I have money? No, it's like, I love you. I like you. I want to learn more about you and how you work and getting to know your environment instead of worrying about who's going to pay the next car bill.
Yeah. Now we do communicate though, and we actually each have our own separate bank accounts and joint accounts together. And but there was a time though we had to learn to do that communication on the money, where he is like, you see something and you have that expectation just like anybody else. It ended up being one of the best medicine moments, because it's like, I didn't do anything, you're projecting at me, but I didn't say that, I just knew this. But he had to work something out, and he was working from some of his old traumas. But I also know that I will also loop in conversation, like, don't do this because this has to happen, this. And he's like, yes dear, yes dear, yes dear. And he doesn't interrupt my thinking process, because he knows that I'm self-checking, because I
used to do that in the past, and it annoyed the bejeebus out of me. But eventually it came down to, I was like, no, this is something I need to start looking back on me of, okay, why am I getting flustered? Is it because I feel like she can't finish her sentence and I have to try and finish it for her and try to save her? No, that was now I was bringing trauma back in from my old relationship. Like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to be reliant on finishing your thoughts. Just take your time, finish your thought. Even if it takes you a millennium, just finish your thought.
Yeah.
And so money is actually, it's funny because money is actually its own relationship with ourselves, and how we structure things, and that dependency and that need, because we have that Maslow hierarchy of care. We need those basic needs met. Yeah. And when we feel there's a need of scarcity or fear, we're going to have projections, and then other things are going to come in, and then the money gets blocked, like the flow. So I've had to work a sovereignty with a relationship with that, because I've had different versions of safety within, or disparity with money. And now being a business owner, that's a whole different relationship that I needed to look at, because I was a mom, and I'm finishing a doctoral program. I'm wearing multiple hats, and my energy goes like this. So money comes in different births, different avenues, because that's how I work that magic and navigate. But when I start looping, he's learned that that's my pattern of, I'm checking different timelines, and it's almost like I'm anchoring myself here, and I'm speaking so I don't get lost. And but he had to learn beautiful.
That. I will borrow that one. I will really borrow that.
I really
but that is
I really had to learn that, of learning to anchor my emotions with myself, of, okay, this scare or this fear that you have, it's not going to be based on me. It's going to be based on how much money we have. Can we pay our car bill? Can we pay the insurance? Can we do this? Can we do that? And it came down to, of, we don't have to do any of it. It came down to, if we want to do it, we can do it, but let's focus on the main project of paying the house, paying the mortgage, paying this, being actual human beings, and being adults, and working out the system,
because it's the matrix. But when it came down to it, it's the communication was, how was our nervous system actually responding to the extra stimuli, and how were we bouncing off somebody else, because we're vibrating this fear out, or this insecurity, and because we're in that flight, fight, or freeze, we're looping. So holy space going, okay, he knows a pattern that I do, but then I go, am I doing that? And he goes, yeah. I go, okay. And then I stop and go, okay, what did I was reaching for, that I had a blind spot? And then it turns out that my nervous system was trying to condition me to respond differently than to a situation I never knew. And it really wasn't that bad. And then when another barrier hurdle came in financially, maybe because still waiting for somebody to pay something or whatever, I was able to start breathing, because it's like that matrix wasn't in control of me anymore.
The matriarch.
Yeah. It's like, I was like, okay. But he held space for me. And same with him. It's like, I love how you use the $20. Like, do we have to do, like, and I'd be like, I can't, but Give me a second. And then all of a sudden I had the $20.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
we have to be
You
comfortable with the
gotta
timeline.
manage the frequency.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is where the frequency is at right now. It's at 20%, and that's all we have is 20%. And if that's how it is in a relationship, like, honey, I only have 20%.
Yeah.
But if you could be able to create the other 80, that'd be helpful. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. It could be just picking up after the house, or hey, can you just run and just I literally only have like $20. Go run the store and go grab some milk and eggs.
And then he comes back with more plenty of.
I come back and I'm like, honey, I got more than just milk and eggs. I got cheese. I got this. I got stuff to make breakfast. I got stuff to make lunch. What do you want?
But what I hear,
it's a frequency.
Sorry. Yeah, and I hear what I hear. It feels like you are together, checking into what I call the spiritual abundance, like everything we already have, to have that energy open, and then the money will show up. No, sometimes
it does.
We did not expect as well.
That's kind of how my money works too. I have it in different pockets.
Yeah,
I'll have it in different places. It's not always going to be in one single area, because that's how my brain works. I can't work in just one area, because then my brain just goes offline, and then I get bored and I just don't want to do it.
We are very similar. Yeah, I can relate.
It's funny because we were actually in the conversation right before the podcast. Is like, it's funny how you feel there's this negative, not negative, but kind of like this lack of something before it takes traction, and you can see it, but it's like you have to wait. And so getting more comfortable in the uncomfortable without it becoming like a stalemate, like a stagnation. So right now I was like going, okay, this is the anticipation before something else, but right now it's kind of dry and it's uncomfortable. And we talk about what that is. And then also when it comes in flow and heavy, you're like, whoa, I'm glad I got that rest before this all came in, because I have to take care of all this other stuff. Because it really is a ride. And that's where, if you can reframe it and make it into a kind of a play, a joy, then it actually helps that alignment of what that abundance and that relationship and that union, and that becomes sensual, because that conversation is healthy. And we don't realize we need it until we have it and get it.
Yeah. And do you believe that a lot of people are afraid to have that conversation?
Oh yeah.
It's all based on judgment, and I'm going to use the word colonization, conditioning, and just this is how Hollywood or Bollywood or TV shows it, and this is how we need to act. No, that's why they call it play, or they call it a cast, because everything has a vibration, and if you connect with that vibration, then you can be able to manifest what you want to manifest. Like, for example, let's say you want to manifest a brand new car. A lot of people they'll put a picture up on a billboard and say, yep, I want that car, and they'll have an image, and they'll slowly work on it. And once you have that idea of this is what I want, and it starts slowly coming in, and then you start like, wait, when did I be able to get that? Then people like, wait, where did you get that? It's like, oh, the universe, it gave it to me.
But there was work put into it.
There was work and
exactly
progress you had to go into and dive deep into that.
Yeah. And to kind of be at that state within, I'm talking about energetically.
Yeah.
As well. But sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say it doesn't matter what stage you're at. And it could mean that you're living out in the woods or you live in the city. There's certain things they want to manifest. You got to put the hard work into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Okay. I have one final question, and then it's late for you. Oh my God. But if your union together had a frequency, what would it be teaching the world right now?
That's a good
That's a
question.
good question. Yeah, the frequency. What would it be teaching the world?
What if we're not there to teach the world, but to model it, so people can have hope for that vibration alignment that makes them, because everybody's always looking at somebody else and go, I want that or I need that. We're just looking at the modeling. What if we're just showing an example of what could be?
Yeah.
By being the right example to what that person needs. Like, for example, we just got
we're mentors.
We're mentors.
We're peer support specialists. We are to somebody else, but together. I mean, we're paranormal investigators. So people are like, you want to go ghost hunting? Yeah, we can do that.
We can do that.
Or you own a business? We can do that together. Or you want to raise 7 cats? Yes, we have 7 cats. We can do it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh my God.
When he says he's a cat. We are cat people. Now we love dogs.
We love dogs.
We love dogs. You just happen to have kids.
Have to have cats.
It's beautiful.
And so just making sure that those boundaries are set between the both of you, and so you guys can actually pursue that frequency that you guys want to do together,
and be willing to look at that frequency and how you can level up
and adjust to that person's needs, because it's constantly you're adjusting, and men were constantly adjusting to women's needs of taking care of the baby or taking care of them in general, in sickness and health, and better and worse. That's how the marriage thing goes. And a lot of people don't understand that. It's like, no, they really do mean this. It's like, are you willing to take care of them in any condition?
Because the women will do it anyways naturally.
Yeah, the men we'll whine and complain about it, and then we'll just kind of shove everything down the drain. And just kind of like, well, that's kind of how I was raised. No, we need to get back into the concept of you are a stewardship for each other. You take care of her, she takes care of your needs, and if you feel like the needs are not being taken care of, then you guys need to figure out, what is my framework? What am I doing here?
And that's an individual thing. So the truth is, individually, we're examples of a frequency of what can be like with healing, and example with tools, and together we're example of how you take those examples of sovereignty and put them together, and how they can be in unison. And there's not a way to articulate it, because whatever somebody's going to hear or see from this, they're going to take what they need and leave the rest. And maybe they're not ready for it, or maybe they want more and they'll ask more questions. And we're happy to have a conversation about it with no judgment, wherever they're at.
You have to look at the 7 generations behind you, but you also got to look at the 7 generations before you and see how that is affecting. And it doesn't have to be the actual children or people in your family. It could be the next door neighbor. It could be the cat down the road. It could be the kid that you pick up for after school because you're babysitting them or something. It's just these small moments of learning to have this communication, not as the adult here or as the parent, but also as the child too, because you gotta look at yourself. I'm still a kid to somebody.
That's true.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh my God, I really enjoyed this conversation, and for your truth and honesty and calm energy. Like, it's very. I feel very energized now. I was tired. We spoke about that before we started, but I don't feel like sleeping now. At all.
That's kind of what we do. Yeah. We kind of put people on this weird roller coaster high, and after you're done with the roller coaster, I'm like, I want to do it again.
It's like we're melodic, but we're high frequency, and what's crazy is, as high we vibrate, we had to learn to work with electronics video, because we would destroy things constantly.
Like when during times when I was incarcerated, we would be on the phone with each other, and suddenly the phone cuts out. I'm like, Danny, where'd you go? Then suddenly it cuts back in. I'm like, where'd you go? I'm like, my energy was just too high. I'm sorry, honey. I was working with this client, and her energy was just too high, and I had to deal with it. Like, okay.
But
Gotcha.
thank you, but Deo, thank you for this opportunity to have this conversation with you and these questions.
Thank you. Wait, oh no, my cat came with a mouse in her mouth and went inside.
She brought you a present.
I love that she's hunting.
She wants to show you how
she went inside.
a warrior she is.
And I always applaud her, but I don't like her eating it inside. Yep. Okay. Yep. But it was a perfect timing, wasn't it?
It was.
She came now. Yeah. No, but thank you so much, and thank you, Danniel, for having holding the space for me to be back and forth in my process during this time when we actually recorded another episode that something felt off for me because of where I was at. Not what you were saying and doing in that episode, but yes. So thank you so much for that.
You were so welcome.
If someone wants to reach out to you, I mean, I will have all the links for both of you, but work-wise, people can reach out to, I mean, either of you, but also together, or
yeah. So you can reach us at willowmedelawellness.com. That's our practice, our company, and
but you can also reach us out to a Contagious Smiles.
We are doing a partnership.
We do a partnership of a peer-to-peer support
with Victoria Cure, and that's a new thing that just got rolled out. So people can see us as not me as a therapist from Willow Medela Wellness, but as a peer support, I can show up as my psychic medium skills and as a person that had lived through trauma and can show up holding that space as well, instead of coming as a clinician. So it helps people internationally too, because then they can see me in a more real form.
And I can do the same thing. I don't have to come up as the medicine man or the holistic practitioner. I can just come out as your best friend, your little buddy that you can just talk to, and just like, hey, I'm really having a hard day. I'm really sorry that you're having a hard day. You want to talk about it?
Yeah. So
who is Victoria?
Victoria Curie is the founder and creator of a contagiousmile.com.
Okay. Then I understand.
And she supports people in healing and trauma
and work, and she has her own other podcast
too.
So.
But we've been invited to help be part of that and support that, and so we're offering different avenues for you to find us. Even you can Google us online on media. Danniel Worthen Cullumber for me, and Gvnage Mishipeshu, and he has a YouTube channel and everything. So
YouTube.
Oh yeah, but I will have all the links as well.
Exactly.
TikTok, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
So it's easy to find us. Just you have to reach out to us.
Yeah, reach out.
Do you have anything else, like a final thing, whatever you want to share before we end today?
We love that people want to have these conversations, because healing starts with the first question of how
and why.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And for everyone who will be listening to the episode further, like the replay and listen further on, it's a journey. I would just like to end that it's a journey, and what you both share, that sometimes things take time. It doesn't have to be in an instant. And that's okay.
As I said, it's not going to move as fast as the rabbit wants to, but you are going to
get there.
You are going to get there.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gvnage.